Good morning, everybody. This morning, bright and early, very early, we're summiting yet one more mountain. I don't know what this one's called, there's so many. But look at the morning. Remnants of the thunderstorms last night. Big thunderstorms, loud crashing, lots of rain. That might help the water sources today. I don't know. To my right, just rocks, and the actual summit itself, right there. We're on the trail. I don't need to climb up those rocks. I don't need to use that energy. I need all the energy I have just to continue heading north along the Appalachian Trail. Welcome to day 69. You know what? May the 4th be with you, everybody. May the 4th be with you. Hey guys, well, this morning, the beginning of day 69, breakfast is at the, I think it's called Dundo picnic area. There's water here, fire pits for barbecuing or grilling, picnic tables. Now, let me give you a little peek. It's very foggy this morning again from all the thunderstorms we had. But it gives you a little bit of an idea about what's going on. There's picnic tables and fire pits and so on. So today looks like it's going to be another day of, you know, figure out where you're going to camp, where you're going to get water from. There is a shelter. I've done about 2.5, maybe 2.5 miles, something like that this morning. And at 19 point some from here is a second shelter. That's just a bit too far again. There is a shelter sooner than that, but that might be just a little bit too soon. So it's a matter of finding a water source and a little bit of a wild camp spot. And my SD card just filled up, which is fine. I knew I had to change batteries also, which I did, so that's done with for this morning. So yeah, as I was saying, it's a bit of a challenge so far yesterday, and it looks like today too. Water and camp spots in the Shenandoahs. I mean, between, if you will, the shelters. So, having said that, day 69 is going to be a day of obviously heading north, hiking. Tomorrow, day 70, I come across a commercial camp here. There they have showers and so on. I think it's $15 or $16, something like that, to camp, which is fine. And it just so happens to be right at the halfway mark between Waynesboro and Front Royal. And so for a 6-day passage between those two communities and through the Shenandoahs, the halfway point of 53 miles is a great spot to hit a commercial campground. It's kind of like hitting a hostel. I get my showers and so on, and that's perfect. So that is going to be my kind of plan, if you will, for the next 2 days anyhow here in the Shenandoahs, is to basically make that commercial camp area tomorrow. Later today, we'll probably hit our first wayside, and it just so happens that in their ride-up, today is their first day open. We'll see how that all goes. That's about 5 miles from here, a little over 5 miles from here. So by then I'll be ready for a break anyhow. Hey, so far so good. Yeah. Harder than I thought. Well, no, I can't say that. I knew it was going to be really hard. But when you're actually experiencing it, rather than knowing it's going to be hard, It's a little different. I think tomorrow, I'm not sure, I think tomorrow I hit the 900-mile marker. Jasper here. Please like, share, comment, do subscribe to my channel. It needs to grow, and only you can make it do that. Thank you. Bye-bye. I did see a marker behind me for the Lost Mountain campground. Now that would be the first kind of commercial operating campground I have seen in the Shenandoahs. Apparently there's several. We actually plan on staying at one tomorrow, which is right, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but it's right at about the halfway marker between Waynesboro and Front Royal. So at the end of day 3, it would be fitting to stay there on a 6-day passage. But right now, the Lost Mountain Camp Store is apparently about 0.1 or 0.2 of a mile ahead of me, and it's going to be on my left. So we're looking for markers, a sign of some kind for that. Today is supposed to be their first day open for their season. And what I'm really looking for, what would be wonderful right now, would be a coffee and a breakfast sandwich. Like maybe even a Jimmy Dean, you know, egg, sausage and cheese sandwich, breakfast sandwich, microwave, and a coffee. And that would be perfect. 20-minute break and then head north. So that is the plan right now. So A, let's see if it's open. B, let's see if they have something that interests us, like coffee and a breakfast sandwich. It's 5.1 miles since we stopped and had our oatmeal at the picnic area. That's a little over 8 kilometers ago, maybe about 8.2 kilometers, let's say, for those of you who are measuring kilometers. The trail is beautiful. Sun has come up. It's burnt off the fog. Some white puffy clouds. There's clouds below us. We're up high. When I say high, I don't know. Not that high. 2,500, 3,000 feet maybe. But there are clouds below us when I look over the peaks of the mountains into the valley below. When I get those views. The trail, beautiful. Look at this. Smooth, flat, green grass at either side right now. No, not like this for long, believe me. Just a while back it was super rocky and going straight up, so. But right now, it's pleasant. That's one of the reasons too we're actually recording right now, because we can record much better on the easier spots. On the challenging spots, it just becomes much harder. So there's a post here. Oh, and I see a building over there, top of a building. I am guessing this is the spot. So we're gonna go up there and take a look. Here's the post. Yeah, camp store. So it's up here. Let's just go up here and take a look. Okay, so leaving the Lost Mountain camp store. So first of all, A, yes, it was open. B, I guess the manager, the gentleman, he didn't want any videoing going on. Didn't want to be on video. Nope, turn it off, he said. I thought that was kind of negative for being in like a tourist or public kind of service kind of work like that, because lots of people go in there recording, especially the hikers, especially those with U2s, because the hikers behind us, they want to know what's available, what facilities are there, and so on. So we like to record, and they like to watch it. But anyhow, that's fine. To each their own. But I will say this, it was clean. Now, today's their first day open. Limited stock so far, although lots of stock. Coffee was not working, but they did have the Jimmy Dean sandwiches, so I got one. And I had an ice cream. Yesterday, I'd lost one of my water bottles. Don't know where. If I could have left it at the hostel, or it could have come out of my pack, I don't know. But I did pick up, and that was a 1 liter bottle. what I was able to get was a 600 ml water bottle, just Aquafina. And that will suffice for now, just for that extra water. Secondly, it will replace my electrolyte bottle, this one. This one's very old. I haven't been able to find a 600 ml smart bottle here, although at home in Ontario we have them everywhere in the stores, but not here. So that Aquafina 600 ml will actually work out really well to replace my electrolyte water bottle. So at least I'll have a clean one, because I like algae and stuff growing inside this one. And at each shelter, or sorry, at each hostel I try to clean them, but anyhow. So okay, a little bit of an update there. I think that's around 7.4 miles for the day into that location. Another hiker was just telling me the end of the day kind of shelter is around 14 point something miles from here. That's a 22 mile day. So that is going to be too much for me. And water, of course, is going to be a factor again today. There is another shelter before that. There's one up here at 5.8 miles. So that's a little too shy for me for the day. But I will be able to get water there if I need it. And if I've done 7 here, and at that 5.8, let's say call that 12, about 13, that'll be about 13 miles in for the day. So what I could do there, and that would be fine, I can pack up my camp water from there, go another 3.5 miles for a 16.5 mile day. I'll find myself a little wild camp spot, and that would be perfect for me. And I think, although I've really got to spend a little bit of time doing some planning, maybe tonight, but I think that gives me another 16 to 17 miles tomorrow to the commercial campground like this one here, where I would camp and shower and so on. And that's the one that's halfway through the Shenandoahs, or more precisely, the halfway point between Waynesboro and Front Royal. Whew. Lots going on, lots to think about. Yeah. I know some of the other guys like Professor and Carlos and other guys, the gentleman I was just talking to, are pushing through to that 21, 22 mile shelter. And that's fine. You know what? I just find that a little bit too much for me. And, you know, I'm 65, so now Professor's 62, I think. He's not a young man. But he's a very good hiker, that's for sure. But anyhow, a lot of the other guys are much younger. But I find myself much happier at my numbers, which is between 15 to 18 miles a day. I just find myself happier, my body happier, my mind, my kind of psyche, my mental health is just happier than trying to push those into the 20s. So I'm just not going to do that. We do have something that we say out here, which is hike your own hike. And I thoroughly believe in that. And I like hiking alone. And I like camping. I like my tent, my shelter. Thank you, girls, Karina and Amanda, for that. And I love a little spot in the wilderness to make home for the night. I just love that. So I'm okay with it. Very much so, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm more than okay with it. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, sun's up. Woo! It's warm already, although it is now 10:30ish anyhow. 11 o'clock, 10:30ish maybe. But it's warm already. So I think the next spot that we'll be looking at a break will be that shelter at about 5.8 miles down the road. And then we'll reassess the day and the situation from there. The terrain doesn't look bad today, so if ever there was a day to log those 20-mile days, today would be one of those days, that's for sure. Okay, whatever miles we're going to log, let's get to logging, shall we? This is the first real natural water source of any kind of quality and quantity that I've seen in the last 2 days. So of course, I don't need to filter water here. I'm only about 3 miles from the next shelter, so there's no point carrying that because I can get water at the shelter. However, I did take a buff bath. Again, that's just soaking my buff in river water and just giving your arms and your neck, your face, your head, your legs, and a couple of other places a good scrub down, just to freshen things up, get the salt off, so on. Yeah, it's actually nice to see that water source here. Okay, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep pushing. It's about noon, and I believe we're 10 miles in now for the day, maybe a 10.1 miles for the day. I think we have about 3 miles to go to the shelter, the next shelter, where we'll get water, have lunch there, and that will give us a little over 13, about a total of 13.4 miles at that particular shelter. That will be our lunch stop. But we're still a ways away from that. We probably won't get there till 1:30ish or later. And then from there, we'll probably pack out full camp water, unless I can come up with another source that I know of or that's proven to me a few miles after that, because we'll be heading to looking for a wild camp spot somewhere around the 16 to 18 mile kind of position. Okay, other hikers coming for us, coming ahead of us. We'll sign off for now. We should pretty much be arriving very shortly at our lunch location, which was the next shelter along the line from where we stayed last night. And that shelter would be located 13 miles from where we stayed last night. So it's a little late lunch, 2-ish maybe, I'm not sure. I did a few other kind of trail chores in between, such as I booked my stay in Front Royal, Virginia. Now, even though I'm still about 74 miles away, I have noticed some of the places getting booked up. And then I did pass another gentleman who was heading southbound, and he said the shelter he stayed at last night was like, they had 30 people in there. So that's really getting busy. Anyhow, cut a long story short, I have booked for Monday night. So my arrival at the trailhead will be Monday morning. They have one shuttle at 8:45 in the morning that takes you back to their hostel, which means you get a really nice long Nero. There is a shelter slash tenting area not too far from the trailhead, and the manager, owner, person I spoke to at the hostel said most people will stay there and then hike into the trailhead the next morning for the 8:45 shuttle. So I'm guessing something along those lines is what I'll be doing. I picked Monday because Monday goes along with my 15 miles per day. That being, today being Wednesday, but starting as of tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 15 miles a day, that's 60, and it leaves 15 on Monday. Well, I don't want to be doing 15 on Monday, or trying to, before 8:45. But each day that I hike more than 15 takes away from that. Plus that distance was calculated from when and where I made the booking, which is about a mile or so behind me. So we've already done 1 mile off that 15 on Monday, plus whatever else I do today, another 3 or 4 miles. So it shouldn't be an issue. And if it is, then I would have to just cancel or try to book for the next night or whatever. And if I miss the 8:45 shuttle, there are other shuttles into town, but of course they're paying shuttles. The 8:45 is the hostel free shuttle. They have a shuttle in the afternoon into town, which gives you a 2-hour stay in town for resupply. and things such as that, if whatever you have to do, banking, haircut, whatever, outfitters. So that all works out pretty much good. It's called the Stumbling Inn Hostel. And first impressions from communicating on the phone with them was professional. I'm thinking, these are 2018 Appalachian Trail Thru hikers, by the way. There's a couple. I'm thinking this would be one of the better stays. Anyhow, that was just a little bit of an update. As I say, we're heading to the shelter. I should check on the app. Make sure we don't kind of go blasting past it, because that's also our water source, I believe, for the camp tonight. Okay, beautiful trail. As you can see, right now it's sunny. A few minutes ago it was really gray and threatening rain, but we keep getting gray, but it's kind of a partially cloudy, partially sunny, whatever you want to call that. Right now it's pretty much sunshine, and it's nice, warm. I'd say upper 70s again. Anyhow, I don't know if it's quite as hot as it was yesterday right now, but still upper 70s. I'd say yesterday did it hit 80 for sure. Today, maybe 77, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's just keep moseying along here. Okay, so we're taking a slight detour. To what I believe is the a ranger's office. So this is an official, a park ranger for the Shenandoah National Park. And I'm told there's a spigot on that building, and it looks like the building's ahead of me, where we can get water. I'm 15.3 now in for the day. It's approaching 4 o'clock, and I'm okay with that mileage today. Now, well, there's a few buildings by the look of it. Oh, I do hope this doesn't turn into a try to find something on a dozen buildings. I really just want a spigot and fill my water bottles. Now, it did say at 0.3 further up the trail, but this wasn't shown on the guide or gut hook so far out. There was another creek, but there's nothing else after that until the shelter, and I don't want to risk it. So, having said that, here we go to the fire station office, or sorry, not the fire station, the ranger's office for water. Let's see if that works. By the way, I did not see the 900-mile marker, and technically back at the trail we're at 900.3 miles. I haven't seen the 900-mile marker yet. But when we get back on the trail, maybe we will. First things first, let's get the water. Well, I'm not sure if I was at the right building, because it looked to me like a maintenance kind of depot for the trail. Either way, there was a well pump, and I filtered 2.5 liters, no problem, from that well pump. So that was great. Got my water. We're at 15.3 miles now, or we will be when we've got to go back to the trail, which isn't far, just a few minutes around this road. It's about 0.2 of a mile. So it's actually 0.4 of a mile to get water off the trail. 2 down, 0.2 back. So that's okay. At least you have the comfort of knowing, and the extra weight of course, but at least you've got the comfort of knowing that at 15.3 miles into the day today and approaching 4 o'clock, you have your camp water. That is a huge bonus. Also, on one of the comments, they'd said just north of here is a really nice little wild camp spot, what they call a stealth camp spot here, but it's really just a wild camp spot because you're not kind of hiding from anyone. So if that's the case, you know what, I would probably grab that now at this time of day with the weight of the pack and so on, and that would be perfect. That would be just shy of 16 miles today, and I would be totally delighted with that. So let us see if that's the case. Yeah, so anyhow, we have our water. We're at 15.3 miles in, and either way, we are looking for camp at some point within the next mile or two anyhow. Let's see. Let's see how that comment kind of works out and see what they say, or see what there is up there. Okay, let's go. The Appalachian Trail heading south, and the Appalachian Trail heading north. Looks pretty similar, doesn't it? Oh, look, a lot of gray up there, but blue over there. Right in here, I found a beautiful little wild camp spot. Look, there's definitely been people here before, because it's nice and flat. There's enough for 2 tents here. One there where mine is, and then another one here. I'm going to make this my little dinner spot right here. I got some rocks already there, so somebody's used this as their chair. I'm going to make my dinner right there. This is my spot. Today, big day, 900 miles plus. Wow. The next one is really big, 1,000. When I originally started this trail, or when I originally started planning this trail, I said I'm happy with 1,000 miles on the Appalachian Trail. Well, that's only 100 miles away now. Wow. Anyhow, whew, day 69 is coming to an end. I'm not sure if we're going to do much more recording tonight. If we do, it'll be inside the tent, unless something amazing happens. Wildlife or whatever, I don't know. Otherwise, tomorrow, bright and early, day 70 will start. And starting tomorrow, we're setting our wake up for 4 rather than 4:30. So for 4, that's going to give us a little extra time on trail if we choose to have that. But you know what? It's mild out, like 80 degrees today. It's got to be 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish now, and it's still like 78 degrees. Although it may rain, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it's forecast rain. I have no signal whatsoever, so I cannot get a connection to find out what the weather report is. Talk to you later. If we do, great. If not, I'll talk to you in the morning. Take care.